You know that feeling when you're lying in bed at night, scrolling through Instagram, and you see someone living the life that you wish you had. They work out consistently, and they're muscular as a result. They took the risk and started a business, and now they're financially free and don't have to work for a boss who treats them like garbage. They improved their looks and now have a beautiful feminine girlfriend who loves them. And then suddenly you feel it, that 3 a.m. motivation to change your life and become a better, stronger, more disciplined man. You wake up early and you jump out of bed, ready to hit the gym. You train hard at the gym. You start reading a book that's been sitting around for months waiting for you to read it. And you feel so proud of yourself for finally taking action and finally trying to improve yourself. But then the next day, all that motivation is gone and you're back to scrolling on TikTok for hours and hours, sleeping until the afternoon, and you can't be bothered to even go to the gym anymore. What happened? How can you be so motivated one day and lazy the next? That happened because your brain set you up to fail, and it's all because of dopamine. Dopamine is the motivation molecule. When you have the desire to do something, you have the desire to watch porn, the desire to play video games, the desire to work hard and go to the gym. That feeling of desire is dopamine. Dopamine is the feeling of wanting to do something. And there's two types of dopamine. You've got easy, cheap dopamine that causes you to become more depressed. And then you have hard, difficult dopamine that causes you to feel fulfillment and pride. The problem is that 99% of people are overdosing on bad dopamine, the cheap dopamine, like looking at porn, instead of the good dopamine, like going up and speaking to a woman. And that causes their brain to be wired to crave cheap, easy dopamine, which makes it so much harder, sometimes even impossible, to even want to improve yourself and become better. When you indulge in cheap dopamine, your dopamine will spike up, but then it will immediately crash down below where it was before. So if you have your baseline there, after you partake in cheap dopamine, it will spike up a bit, but then it will go lower than the baseline you had before. This causes you to feel even worse about yourself after you do the bad habit. You've experienced this when you get that rush when you're about to watch porn and jack off. But then as soon as you're done and you get that post-nut clarity, you hate yourself for being weak and falling in to that trap of lust again. Now, when your brain craves easy, cheap dopamine, it becomes so hard to stick to self-improvement. However, what if I told you that there's a way to rewire your brain to crave doing the hard work and become addicted to improving your life? In this video, I'm going to cover the exact method to rewire your brain from being addicted to social media porn and consuming content to being addicted to going to the gym, studying, and becoming better and happier person. Now, here's the actionable advice that will train your brain to crave hard work. What you need to do is implement a dopamine detox into your daily life, but specifically when you first wake up. When you first wake up, do you jump out of bed immediately, excited to start the day? Or do you immediately reach for your phone and you check your messages and you scroll through Instagram and TikTok to start your day? If it's the latter, it will take you an hour, half an hour, at least to even get out of bed and think about starting the day. You may think that scrolling on social media first thing when you wake up, it's not that bad. You're not taking up that much time. However, it is sabotaging your entire day and making sure that your day will be a failure. When the first thing you do when you wake up is go on social media, you flood your brain with cheap dopamine that destroys your brain's natural reward system. For the whole rest of the day, you won't be able to focus or lock in because your brain just wants another dopamine hit from social media or another form of cheap, easy dopamine. Now, the way you solve this is you implement the exact same easy to follow 2-step morning routine that the successful men that you want to be more like do every single morning. The first step is absolutely no social media for the first hour, so your brain can naturally calibrate its natural dopamine system. Now your brain will crave doing the hard work in order to get dopamine instead of being addicted to getting easy dopamine. So instead of going on your phone, start the day with 10 minutes of meditation. Start it with reading a book. Start it with going out and walking, getting some sunlight. Start it with doing 10 push-ups or anything. Do anything that naturally increases your dopamine levels in a healthy way. Now the next thing you do is immediately go into deep work. With deep work, you focus entirely on the work that you need to do. 100% of your focus is on the work. Your phone should be on do not disturb mode and far away from you. Now, it doesn't matter if you're using deep work to study for exam, to write a script, to work on your business, to write an essay, to complete a work task that you need to do today. Right after you calibrate your natural dopamine system, you need to go and complete a work task that you need to do today. And the best thing you can do is get it finished early so you can look forward to other activities later on. Usually what we do when we have a work task that we need to do this day is we push it back as far as we can. So if we have to work on an essay or do any sort of work, we'll push it back and push it back and push it back until either we have to be working on it at 2 a.m. or we'll just say, I'll do it tomorrow. And then the next day, the same thing will happen. You'll push it back, push it back, push it back, and then suddenly it'll be too late, and then you go, I'll do it tomorrow. And that keeps on going on and on and on, and your deadline slowly approaches, and you get more and more stressed as time goes on. So instead, when you first wake up, as soon as you get out of bed and you've done your thing to calibrate your dopamine system, just do the work. It's called eating the frog, where you basically do the one task that you don't want to do but you need to do, and you do it first thing, so for the rest of the day you can focus on doing more enjoyable activities. The rest of the day you can go to the gym, you can go swimming, you can do any other hobby, because now you've finished that work you need to do. It's done, it's out of the way, you've done it. Now the first few days of doing this, where you get out of bed, you don't look at social media, you naturally calibrate your dopamine system and you do deep work, the first few days of that will be boring. You won't get as much stimulation from the hard dopamine like doing hard work. However, training the gym will start to feel good after a few days. After a few days, you'll be motivated to build a business and become financially free. You'll actually want to study for your exams. You won't want to waste time on social media or porn. Dopamine is not your enemy. It's one of your brain's greatest weapons for motivation and focus. However, you need to control it and use it productively, especially in the morning. If you can do this, if you can control your dopamine, you'll no longer have to rely on willpower. Instead, you're addicted to the progress you're making. You actually feel motivated to work and get out of bed because your brain actually craves hard work. Now, if you want to start becoming the greatest version of yourself and start making real progress on your physique, your wealth, and your attractiveness, and just transform your life into one that you absolutely love, the life that you want to have, apply for one-to-one self-improvement coaching in the description by booking a free 30-minute breakthrough call to find out how you can guaranteed change your life and become strong, confident, and disciplined in a very short period of time. Now, I thank you for watching, and I hope you got value out of this and learned how to actually become addicted to self-improvement and you making progress towards achieving your goals. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about self-improvement and how to improve your life, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.